Have you ever felt the profound and unsettling sensation of running on a treadmill, your legs pumping, your lungs burning, your brow beaded with sweat, only to look around and realize you haven't moved an inch? This is the quiet reality for millions of people. They are working harder and harder, putting in longer hours, taking on more responsibility, yet they feel perpetually stuck, as if an invisible force is holding them in place, preventing them from ever truly getting ahead. They blame their circumstances, their boss, the unfairness of the economy, or the lack of opportunities presented to them. But what if the key to a life overflowing with wealth, happiness, and a deep, resounding sense of fulfillment wasn't about any of those external factors? What if the master key, the one that unlocks every door you've ever dreamed of opening, was a single, transformative secret that most people tragically overlook their entire lives? This is not a discussion about a get-rich-quick scheme, a lottery ticket mentality, or a fleeting moment of hollow inspiration that fades with the morning sun. Those are distractions, shiny objects designed to keep you from the real work. This is about discovering a fundamental law of life, a principle as reliable and as powerful as the law of gravity. It is a law that, once you truly understand it and begin to consciously apply it, grants you the astonishing ability to rewrite your future, not in some distant imagined tomorrow, but starting today with the very next choice you make. If you have ever yearned for more than the life you currently lead, if you have felt a deep-seated, almost primal desire to unlock the vast, untapped potential that you know resides within you, and if you are finally irrevocably ready to leave mediocrity behind forever as a relic of your past, then you are standing at the threshold of the one lesson that changes everything. Ignore it, and you risk the greatest tragedy of all, staying exactly where you are, forever haunted by the ghost of the person you could have become. Embrace it, fully and without reservation, and you will never, ever be the same again. Visible, the foundation of lifelong success. Here is the single most important piece of wisdom you will ever learn if you genuinely desire a life of both profound prosperity and unshakable joy. Learn to work harder on yourself than you do on your job. Read that sentence again. Let it sink deep into your consciousness, for within that simple phrase holds the entire architectural blueprint of a well-lived, magnificent life. From the moment we enter the workforce, we are conditioned by society, by our education, and by our peers to believe a seductive and incomplete truth, that more effort at our 9-to-5 will automatically translate into a better life. We are taught to be diligent employees, to show up on time, to complete our assigned tasks, and to climb the prescribed corporate ladder. While these are not bad things, they represent only a tiny fraction of the whole truth. They are about maintenance, not about magnificent growth. The stark reality is this: your income, your happiness, your influence, and your peace of mind will rarely exceed your personal development. Think of your personal growth, your character, your skills, your mindset, your philosophy as a container. Life is constantly showering us with opportunities, with chances for wealth, for connection, for learning. If your container is small, holding perhaps only a gallon, it does not matter if a monsoon of opportunity rains down upon you. You can only capture a gallon. The rest will simply spill over, wasted and lost forever. You might get a lucky break, a surprise promotion, an unexpected windfall, a chance encounter. But if you have not diligently expanded your container, if you have not grown into the person who can manage that new level of success and responsibility, life has a strange and powerful way of pulling you back down to the level of your development. It's a universal balancing act. Let's make this tangible. If an eccentric billionaire were to appear and hand you a briefcase containing $1 million tomorrow morning, your first and most urgent task would not be to find a financial advisor or a new house. Your most urgent task would be to rush out and become a millionaire in your mindset, your habits, your self-worth, and your character. You must rapidly expand your container. If you fail to do this, If you maintain the same habits, the same friends who encourage poor decisions, and the same limiting beliefs about money and success that you had when you were broke, that $1 million will inevitably find its way out of your hands. It will be siphoned away by poor investments, frivolous spending, and unforeseen emergencies that are really just symptoms of a small container mindset. The money will be drawn, as if by a magnetic force, back to the pockets of those who have built the capacity, the container, to hold and grow it. This leads us to a profound shift in perspective. True, lasting success isn't something you chase, hunt down, and tackle. That is the way of the amateur. Success is something you attract by the person you become. The focus, therefore, must pivot away from pursuing the prize, the money, the title, the recognition, and toward the process of developing yourself into a person who is worthy and capable of it. When you become a person of immense value, integrity, skill, and discipline, success will seek you out. Opportunity will knock on your door so loudly it might break the hinges. The goal is not to get the $1 million. The goal is to become the kind of person who can earn it, keep it, grow it, and use it to create even more value in the world. True happiness isn't found in what you acquire. It is contained entirely in who you are becoming on the journey. Thus, gathering the blueprints for success. To truly begin this journey of personal transformation, you must first dismantle a pervasive and paralyzing myth. You must understand this fundamental principle. The greatest obstacle in your life is not a lack of money, resources, or connections. The greatest obstacle is a lack of high-quality, life-altering ideas. I remember my own period of struggle, a time when my pockets were empty and my future looked bleak. I went to my mentor, the great Mr. Earl Schoff, and I complained, as so many do. Mr. Schoff, I just don't have any money. My bills are piling up, and my bank account is empty. It felt like the most real and significant problem in the world. He looked at me, not with sympathy, but with a piercing clarity, and said, "Mr. Rohn, that is not your problem." I was utterly confused. How could my empty pockets not be the problem? He then delivered the line that changed my life forever. Your problem is a lack of ideas on how to create wealth and value. If you get the right ideas and you act on them, you can change anything. With this paradigm-shifting understanding, your mission becomes crystal clear. You must transform yourself into a dedicated, lifelong student. A student not of a formal curriculum, but a student of life itself. If you wish to be successful, you must study success. Don't just wish for it. Make it a formal subject of your intellectual and personal inquiry. If you wish to be happy, you must study happiness. Read the philosophers, the psychologists, and the spiritual leaders who have dedicated their lives to understanding it. If you wish to be wealthy, you must study wealth. Understand its principles, its creation, and its management. Do not leave your future to the whims of chance, crossing your fingers and hoping for the best. That is a fool's plan. You must make your own growth an active, deliberate, and passionate study. And as you embark on this quest and begin to uncover these life-altering ideas, you must follow one critical instruction. Do not use your magnificent mind as a temporary filing cabinet. Capture everything. Get a journal, a simple notebook that will become your most prized possession. When you hear a great idea, read a powerful quote, or have a sudden insight, write it down. The simple physical act of writing engages a different part of your brain, etching the idea more deeply into your memory. More importantly, this journal allows you to engage in the unparalleled magic of repetition. By reviewing your notes, your captured ideas, your personal reflections, your goals, over and over again, you drive these concepts deep into your subconscious mind. You are planting seeds. At first, nothing seems to happen, but with consistent review and reflection, those seeds will inevitably take root, and one day they will begin to blossom in your actions, your personality, your confidence, and ultimately in your bank account and the quality of your entire life. So where do you find these priceless, life-changing ideas? The blueprints for a better life are all around you, hidden in plain sight. There are three primary methods for gathering them. The first and perhaps most accessible way is to become an avid, voracious reader. The most successful and influential people I have ever known are all relentless readers, driven by an insatiable curiosity about the world. They understand a vital distinction. A formal education will make you a living, which is fine, but self-education will make you a fortune, which is spectacular. Think about the incredible bargain a book represents. For a few dollars and a few hours of your time, you can access the condensed life experience of a brilliant mind. One single book might save you 5 years of painful and costly trial and error. There are books on every conceivable subject necessary for a great life. How to be a more persuasive leader, a more effective public speaker, how to build stronger and more meaningful relationships, how to manage your finances, and how to develop an unshakable and resilient character. Hundreds, if not thousands, of the most successful people in human history have taken the time to write down their stories, detailing precisely how they achieved what they achieved. They have left us the blueprints, the maps, and the instruction manuals. Yet tragically, most people will never pick them up. Don't be one of them. Commit to just 30 minutes of dedicated reading a day, not the newspaper, not fiction for mere escape, but something positive, instructional, and challenging. It is a small, simple investment that pays the highest dividends imaginable. The second way to find what you're looking for is to become an exceptional listener. Understand this: proximity is power. You must get yourself into the orbit of successful, positive, and intelligent people. Attend the seminars, go to the lectures, join the groups where these people congregate. And when you are there, listen with an intensity that borders on reverence. Listen not just to what they say, but how they say it. Absorb their mindset, their optimism, their attitude toward problems, and their vocabulary. Notice the words they use and the words they avoid. Interestingly, you can also learn an immense amount from unsuccessful people. Listen to them as well, but as a cautionary tale. Take note of what they complain about, the blame they assign, what they read, what they watch on television, and how they spend their free time, and then commit to doing the exact opposite. But for the most potent lessons, learn from the positive. Here is one of the best and most counterintuitive pieces of advice you will ever receive. Poor people should take rich people out to dinner. It sounds completely backward, doesn't it? The immediate unrefined thought is, he's rich, let him buy his own dinner. But that scarcity mentality is precisely why people stay stuck. To invest $80 or $100 to have the undivided attention and mentorship of a successful, insightful person for 2 hours is the greatest bargain in the world. In that time, they are liable to drop a single idea, a single contact, or a single piece of advice in your lap that could multiply your income and change the entire trajectory of your life. What is that worth? The third method for gathering ideas is to become a master observer. Success leaves clues, and they are scattered everywhere for those with the eyes to see them. Watch successful people with the focus of a detective. Watch how they walk into a room, how they shake hands with confidence and warmth, how they conduct themselves in a business meeting, and just as importantly, how they treat the waiter or the janitor with respect and dignity. People who do well in life perform certain small, seemingly insignificant actions with a consistent level of excellence over and over again. If you're clever and attentive, you can pick up on these patterns and begin to model them in your own life. You have two ways of seeing the world. One is with your eyes, which is called sight. Sight simply shows you things. The other is with your mind, which is called insight. Insight shows you answers. To develop this profound power of insight, you must simply learn to pay attention. Be fully present wherever you are and with whomever you are with. Don't go through your day in a mental fog, thinking about what's next. Don't miss the subtle but powerful lessons that life is trying to teach you in every single moment. By combining these three practices, reading, listening, and observing, you will gather an arsenal of ideas so powerful they can reshape any area of your life you choose to focus on. It's about igniting the engine of change. Gathering a library of brilliant ideas in your journal is the essential first step, but it is utterly and completely useless without the second, far more critical step. You must go to work. This is not the drudgery of your job. This is the exhilarating work of applying what you have learned to your own life. This is where the real excitement should begin. You must learn to get excited about your own ability to make yourself do the necessary things. The single most powerful force for personal change is discipline. And the key to mastering discipline is to understand that it is built like a muscle. You cannot conquer the great, monumental challenges of life if you have not first mastered the small, daily ones. The secret is to start small, to build momentum through tiny, consistent victories. Make a list of all the little things you know you should do, but often procrastinate on. It could be making that one difficult phone call, reading one chapter of an important book, skipping the dessert after dinner, waking up just 15 minutes earlier to plan your day, or finally organizing your desk. Get right on those. Don't wait for the mood to strike you. Each time you discipline yourself to do one of these small things, you are achieving two results simultaneously. First, you are getting the direct benefit of that action. The call gets made, the chapter gets read, your health improves. But far more importantly, you are building the spiritual and mental muscle of self-discipline. You are sending a powerful message to your subconscious mind. I am in charge here. I am a person who does what they say they will do. Every small act of discipline is a rep in the gym of character. You are strengthening your will so that when life inevitably hands you a truly monumental task or a devastating setback, you will have the inner fortitude and resilience to handle it with grace and power. This process requires self-motivation, which, in truth, is the only kind of motivation that has any lasting value. To build your life on the hope that someone else, a boss, a speaker, a friend, will come along and turn you on is to build your future on a foundation of sand. What happens if they don't show up this week? What happens if they're in a bad mood? Do you just have a bad week? You must have a better plan for your life than that. One where you are the primary, unwavering source of your own drive. And how do you fuel this internal engine? You fuel it with the why. The purpose of all your learning, all the reading, listening, and observing is not simply to accumulate knowledge. If your learning only leads to more knowledge, you become what Mr. Schoaf called an educated fool, a walking encyclopedia of theories and concepts you never apply. That is a tragedy. You must let your learning lead directly to action. Take an idea from a book and immediately find a way to test it in your own life. Hear a strategy in a seminar and implement it the very next day. Only then can you become wealthy, and I do not mean just in money, which is arguably one of the least valuable forms of wealth. Through disciplined action, you become wealthy in experience, wealthy in skill, wealthy in relationships, wealthy in wisdom, and wealthy in spirit. That is the kind of wealth that no economic downturn can ever take away from you. The path of integrity and the power of a single day. Finally, as you gather your ideas and put them into disciplined practice, there is one crucial word of caution, a guardrail for your journey. Do not try to beat the system. It is a tempting and common pitfall. Some people learn just enough to become dangerous. They start looking for angles, for shortcuts, for ways to cut corners, slice the truth just a little and find a cheaper, easier way to get what they want. Do not fall into this insidious trap, for it will inevitably lead you to a cheap life. Instead, commit yourself to mastering the system as it is designed to work best, with unimpeachable integrity, with radical honesty, and with an unwavering focus on providing immense value to others. Commit to doing it the right way, even when it seems to be the longer, harder, and more arduous road. Do not compromise with what you know to be right, not even a little. Your character is the ultimate currency, the foundation upon which your entire life is built. If it develops cracks, everything you build upon it will eventually crumble. A reputation for integrity is worth more than any amount of money, for it is what attracts the best people and the best opportunities to you. So, as you stand at this very moment reading these words, you hold a remarkable and almost divine power within you. You are not a fixed entity. You are a dynamic process. Inside of you right now are extraordinary human gifts of will, imagination, and choice, waiting to be unlocked and fully utilized. You can change anything you want to change about yourself and your life. You do not have to be the same person tomorrow or even in the next hour that you were today. That is a choice. Take a moment and perform a simple but powerful exercise. Look back at the last 5 years of your life. Be honest. Are you where you thought you would be? Have you grown as much as you had hoped? Have your finances, your health, and your relationships improved dramatically? If you do not make a major, conscious, deliberate change to your philosophy and your daily disciplines, the next 5 years of your life will look remarkably similar to the last 5. That is the law of momentum. But it does not have to be that way. Here is the beautiful, liberating truth. Any day you wish, you can pull out your journal, draw a line in the sand, and change your whole life. The change doesn't happen when you achieve the goal. The change happens in the moment you decide to begin. The decision to no longer settle. The decision to become a student. The decision to read the book, to make the call, to start the small discipline. The power is in the commitment. The question then is not whether you can change. You have all the capacity you need. The only question that truly matters is this: starting tomorrow with the rising of the sun, what will you do?